Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Stand Up Guy Radio with Al Romero and Michael Panzeca. And now, let's get on with the show. Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is Michael Panzeca. Welcome to Stand Up Guy Radio, episode 9. We took a little time off because of moving. Had to move the studio. It's a lot of things to move in the studio. So I just couldn't do the show. I know a lot of people have been disappointed, and a lot of people have been calling, when are you going to get the show? When are you going to get the show? When are you going to do the show? So, we're back, and we're going to do the show now, and we're excited. Thank you for listening. And we're going to talk about some things tonight. We don't normally talk about politics, and we're not going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about this country and what the hell is going on, some of the craziness. And we're not taking sides. We're not taking a side or a position. We're just going to talk as experienced men who've lived in this country for a while. We're stand-up comedians, and we're going to talk about it. We're glad you're here to listen. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the show my good buddy, my mentor, the legend, my co-host, Miami's own, Al Romero, ladies and gentlemen. Al,
there we are.
There's Al Romero. He's here. He's with us. How you doing, buddy?
Who's us? How many more people do you have there? I'm doing good, man.
We took 3 weeks off, right?
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah, that's how long it took you to move.
Hold on, let me get a drink of water.
Yeah. I would advise in the future when you move, you take more than one table or chair at a time, That kind of delays it.
Dude, it was so embarrassing. I used to live in Pompano. I had a roommate, my good friend Jeff. And, I'm doing it myself. And I'm using, they have these shopping carts over there.
Shopping cart?
Yeah, for groceries, to take up to your condo. It's like 13 stories. And we're on the 5th floor. So I have to use the utility elevator. And people are looking at your shit. And you're in the elevator with all these workers, that are doing work. And the cleaning lady is on there constantly. I swear to God, every time she saw me, she's like, "You're still moving?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it took you 3 weeks.
I rented a U-Haul truck twice. And no, a U-Haul truck once and a van twice. And
why?
It's just why? Well, it was a matter of time. Okay, here's the other thing. There's all these rules about when you can move and when you can't move. And
you mean your building?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I remember I was on the elevator with this guy, and he's like, "Hey, did you tell the office you're moving?" I'm like, "Why? You figured it out right away." And, "Well, you might get in trouble." I go, I'm fine, sir. And I'm wearing a mask. It's 190 degrees.
Yeah.
He's blocking me, and I'm holding all this shit. And he's like, "Well, they might yell at you." I go, "I don't care. I'm fine." And there was the last trip I did. I go, "I'll just put this stuff in my car." And then I was like, wait a minute, maybe I should get a van. When I saw how much shit was in that van, I'm like, I was really thinking I could use my car. It's so much. But I did it over 2 weeks or whatever. And I have a small little place again, and I'm starting to feel like it's home. It's weird though. When I go to my car, it's kind of far. I can see it, but I still feel like I don't belong here. Like everyone's going to be like, "Who the hell is that guy?"
A couple of more weeks and your neighbors are going to feel exactly the same way. That guy doesn't belong here.
Oh, and then I'm so self-conscious. You could call it self-centered.
So now let me ask you this: when you were doing all that moving, were you paying attention to everything that's going on around the world? Were you in your own little world and completely oblivious to what's going on?
Is this your attempt to change the topic, Al?
Yes.
Are you trying to do a segue, Al?
No, I'm trying to figure out how you were so busy.
No,
You
I
were
wasn't. That's the thing. I didn't have television. I stopped watching the news.
That's what I'm saying. You
I
were
actually, for a while here, and my new package, I didn't get CNN and I didn't get Fox. But I do, because if you want CNN and Fox, you have to get this other package, which is a lot of. So I've been trying to keep my bills down. So, but I have figured it out. I have an app. That I can use, and I use my buddy's account, and so I can watch it on the app, which is good. But no, I was out of the loop for a while, and I kept wondering what's going on. Oh, by the way, I did get in a confrontation. We'll get right into it. I got into a confrontation on the elevator. This very attractive young lady was not wearing a mask. Now, on the elevator, you're supposed to wear a mask, and I was wearing one. And it was very hot. And she goes, I'm not wearing a mask. I go, okay. And she goes, I'll turn this way. I'm like, fine, turn any way you want. You look fine from every direction. Okay. So then as we're leaving, she goes, you shouldn't wear a mask. I go, why? She goes, it's a political thing. I go, look, I'm just trying to avoid conflict on the elevator when I move. People are giving me shit for wearing a mask. People give you shit.
Well,
not wearing
yeah, I know. Because it's become a political thing.
What the fuck is going on? The world has gone crazy, Al.
If you wear a mask, they give you shit because they call you like a pussy. And if you don't wear a mask, then they'll call you, selfish and spreading the virus. So you can't win. But I don't give a shit. I just do whatever I want. I wear the mask. I grew up in a time where I believe where my rights end where yours begin. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have the right to start setting spittle all over the place. And maybe I have it and I'm not aware of it because I'm not, I'm asymptomatic. And then I'm spreading it to other people. And, I don't want to do that. So,
Not to mention getting the virus.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I to tell you the truth, I'm not so much worried about getting the virus as I am concerned about other people's rights. I don't have the right to expose them. They don't know whether I have it or not. They don't know if I'm asymptomatic. So why would I want to make somebody uncomfortable and potentially, give them something if I don't know that I have it, when all I have to do is put a mask on? I don't see it. I don't see the big deal. People just attach them, to some political meaning to insignificant bullshit,
I know, it's ridiculous, man.
I know. I don't see what's political about it. Wear the fucking mask and shut up. That's all.
Don't you kind of wish that we would just have a hurricane? Just have a hurricane.
Just to wipe out everything?
We know how to deal with a hurricane. We understand. And nobody disagrees with that. Nobody goes, there's no hurricane. It's not real. I'm not going inside. Actually, people do that. They go, I'm not going inside. I'm not leaving. Remember, people do that. They tell them to leave, and they go, I'm not leaving. And then they call for help.
I know, but they do that with every type of national disaster. How many people they move from Mount whatever it was in Washington would exploded back in 20 years ago, and they stay there. People do that, Hey, and you know what? Fine with me. That's the way you want to do it. Fine. Just don't bring me into the picture.
It's childlike magical thinking. It's not that way because I don't want it to be that way.
Well, I call it the ostrich principle, which is you stick your head in the sand and make believe that, if you don't see it, it's not happening.
Right. So what's been happening with you? Tell me what's going on. Like, I now I'm a little caught up on the news, but you're more caught up. What's been going on in the country? Give us an update.
It's been wonderful. Nothing but kisses and flowers and everybody holding hands and singing Kumbaya. It's been beautiful. No, man, I tell you, it's bizarre what's going on. I personally think a lot of it, I feel bad because, the whole idea was to bring to consciousness like the inequality that, supposedly there is with interaction between police and black people, and George Floyd was like a poster boy for that type of thinking, because the guy was murdered, in front of all of us. But now he has been hijacked by this, anarchists, this Antifa and all this shit that, I mean, they started with the idea of, well, let's get rid of the Confederate monuments, which I am totally in agreement with. I don't see why they were put there to begin with. Well, I know why. They were there just to give the finger to the black people during, during the turn of the century, when they had, when they have all those laws of segregation and stuff like that. But, and I can be a hypocrite. I get insulted when I see people wearing a Che Guevara shirt. So I could imagine how those statues could be, insulting to black people. But now they move from that. You see, they take legitimate arguments, legitimate confrontations and things that are wrong, and then they turn it into something that have nothing to do with the original idea. So now they're bringing down statues of saints and Christ, and they even pulled down the statue of Ulysses S. Grant, who won the war for the North, for known abolitionists. They're turning down statues of abolitionists. So obviously, what that tells you is that they're pulling down statues just for the sake of it, because they don't even know what statues they're pulling down. So
these
now
people who
there's
did
not a
not
cause
study,
behind that.
they don't know history, and they're taking down statues because they think statues are bad.
Right. Because it's anarchism. There's not a cause behind it. And, if there's a cause behind it, you put some thought into it as to what you're going to destroy. Not that I am for destroying anything, but at least if you're going to destroy something, I at least have a purpose. Now they're destroying shit just for the sake of destroying shit. There's no thinking behind it. It's like just outright just looting and rioting. That's it. That's what's happening in Portland and stuff like that. What's happening in Chicago, I mean, that's just outright gang, civil war, man. Because the police have pulled back, the criminals feel emboldened. They feel that they're not going to be washed or be, in danger of the police being after them. And now they're shooting each other. They had 15 people got shot just yesterday at a funeral for a gang member. The gang supposedly that killed them came back and started shooting all the mourners of these people. It's outright civil war, man. What's going on? Yeah. And there's so many political. Again, everything is attached to politics. They're saying that the president doesn't have the right to go there because it's a state thing, which is correct. That's the way it is. But there's such a thing as a Resurrection Act, which have been invoked several times, when the local authorities cannot control what's going on. The federal government comes in and takes over. I mean, the first time they did that was during the Whiskey Rebellion. George Washington was president, and he put it down. He sent federal troops to put it down. So it has been used before.
Was that in Cincinnati? No, there was something that happened in Cincinnati.
No.
Something similar to that a long time ago happened like that.
No, there was in New England. Washington was president, so I mean, Ohio was not even a territory. So, but that was the first time that it was used. The Insurrection Act was during the Whiskey Rebellion, and it has been used several other times. And so now it's a political thing. It's not now trying to save people's life or trying to save, buildings and stuff like that. Is if you send federal troops, then you're a Nazi. If you don't ask for federal troops, then you're a communist. So it's just these extremes, that nobody's in the middle, man. We had a conversation before that I said, I think we need a viable third party in this country, because the Democrats are always put to the far left and the Republicans are put to the far right. And the majority of people like you and I that are in the middle, we don't have a voice, because the parties are being hijacked by the extremists. So it's a clusterfuck. It really is what's happening in the country right now.
Is that why they have the electoral college? What which I think is
Well, now the electoral college, by the way, I am totally 100% for the electoral.
really
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Our founding fathers were very smart. They realized. See, what people don't understand is that we are a federation. We're a federation of states, which, by the way, back then, state was synonymous with the word country. So we could have easily been called the United Countries of America, just as easy as the United States of America. And we run states like their own little country. I mean, you get a driver's license in Florida, not in California. If you move to California, you have to get one. You know, lawyers cannot practice in all the states. They have to take a test for each individual state. So we are a federation of independent states that have gotten together to form one federal government, but each state is run separately. So what happens is that our founding fathers realized that if you have a small state, nobody will pay attention to it. So only a handful of states will dominate elections year after year. So California, Texas will be the only states will anybody will go there, you know, to campaign or to find out what are the needs of these people, because that's the only states you need to get elected. So Wyoming, Iowa, Montana, nobody will give a shit about those states. So that's why they gave each state X amount of number of electoral votes in you know, related to your population to make it more even. So that way, you don't win presidential elections in the United States by voting in the United States. You vote in your state, and each candidate has to win each individual state, because that will give more representation to the states, you know, that don't have a large population like California and Texas and Florida. So those states will also have a meaning, and also federal politicians will be interested in what's happening in the states. That's why you do it that way. And it's brilliant. It's really brilliant. Otherwise they don't even have elections. Let's just have elections in California and a handful of states, and they will be the only ones that would elect presidents.
so.
What?
You lost me. No, but but why don't, if you count every vote though?
No, but it doesn't count that way. We are a federation of states.
Yeah.
You have to win elections in each state in order to get elected president. We don't elect it 100%. You don't have a United States driver's license. You have a driver's license from your state you live in.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And I told you at the beginning, state was a word synonymous with country. We could have been easily called the United Countries of America. We're a federation of independent states that have gotten together to form one federal government, but each state runs individually from the other states.
So I posted something the other day. I made a joke about the protesters when they're going to be mad when they find out they don't get participation trophies.
Yes,
And
I saw that.
Yeah, and some guy says, "Okay, boomer," like I'm a baby boomer, whatever that is. And then,
well, you are the baby boomer.
yeah, I thought that it was somehow racist.
Yeah, because everything is racist, man. Listen, we are so divided in this country that whatever you say is free speech, and whatever I say is hate speech. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lives in the little bubble, and everybody sees the world according to their own prism, and they don't want to take the chance to see the other side in any way, shape, or form.
What is that?
Called tribalism. Tribalism. Yeah.
I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Me too. Me too. Definitely. I'm totally sick of it.
It's people intelligent. There's no one has even the ability or the interest to consider all the possibilities. If you're genuinely interested in solving a problem, you should be interested in what the what everyone thinks.
But the problem is that nobody cares what everybody thinks. Everybody thinks their own orthodoxy. and everybody believes that their orthodoxy is the correct one, and everybody else is wrong. So immediately, what people, to the extreme of getting tribal like that, is that it gets to the point that not only do I disagree with you, but now I have to beat you or change your mind or get rid of you, because just the mere existence of your thought is an affront to me.
Yeah.
And that's what we have falling into. You know, you can see it on Facebook, man. They got these trolls, these guys. And listen, a couple of them are friends of mine. I got into an argument with them, one of them on Messenger. They go on Facebook 4 or 5 times a day. You're spouting their ideas. And I wrote a thing on Facebook. I said, who gives a flying fuck? Nobody cares. If you really think that you're sitting in your house in your underwear, typing on your computer, these insightful things, and you're going to change the mind or the heart of anybody, you're totally deluding yourself, or you're full of yourself. You're so arrogant that you think that you're actually making a difference. All you're doing is preaching to your own choir and pissing and boring the rest of us.
You posted that on your own page, right?
Yes.
And what I love is when I post something on my page and someone comments on my page,
Yeah, I know. They do that all the time.
as if I invited them into the discussion. Like,
yeah.
Why would you go? That would be like if I knew you were, I walked past your house and I saw you watching Fox News, and I knock on your door and go, how the hell can you do that? What is wrong with you? Like, get off my page. I don't, why are you, okay, if you want to comment on my page, you like what I say, you want something. But if you don't like what I say, I don't think you should comment on my page.
Well, the what I be given back as a reason is that your page is really not your page. It becomes public once you put it out there. It becomes a public forum. And people feel that they have the right to comment because you already put it out there. So your page is not really your page, because when you put it in your page, it goes out to other people besides your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your friends.
Yeah.
So it becomes like a public, posting, and people are commenting on it. I welcome the criticism, guys. I welcome the opportunity to show them how stupid they are.
Let me ask you a question. If there wasn't Fox News or CNN and these news organizations with an agenda, and then you just had like a newspaper and you just got like the weather and news and things like that, do you think it would be as bad as it is, or do you think they fuel the fire?
No, I think the media, stokes the fires. I think the media, listen, it's kind of callous and cynical, but that's how they make their money. They make their money by putting out stories out there so people watch, so they have more viewership, or sell more newspaper. And what we gotten to the point is that there's no pride in journalism anymore. When I grew up, man, the news was put out there and you decided how you want to interpret it. Now, they don't put out the news. They put out commentary on the disguise of being news. They give you the news, but at the same time they give you the news, they're giving you their point of view of the news. That's not the way it's supposed to be.
I know.
You send me the news, I'll make up my own mind. Don't tell me what your opinion is. I don't care. I don't care what your opinion is.
Could you imagine if something like JFK happened now? Like,
oh, forget it.
CNN would be like, oh, this is terrible. And Fox would be like, see, I told you.
Yeah, no, I mean, back then, especially with, there's no privacy.
I have friends
anymore.
in the news business, and they that used to be in it. And they're like, I can't believe what's happening now. They're using it as their own. There used to be the news, and then you had an editorial at the end.
Right. You can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference between one or the other.
It's like, it really turns me off. I have fun going back and forth between the two.
Yeah, I know. It's like being in two different planets, when you watch CNN and Fox. But even the print, if you read the newspaper, I started noticing that when I was living in New York. I started noticing that, you have the Post, you have the New York Times, and when you read different newspaper, you can tell that they're giving you the news. All the newspaper are giving you the news, but they're giving you the news in a way that they're actually infiltrating their own personal opinion into it. They're very smart. They're not blatant about it, but you can tell if you take the time to read it, you can see this is not really a statement. This is more like an opinion, disguised as a statement. And that's what you get now in the news. It's not news anymore. It's people's opinion disguised as news.
It's scary to me. I think about this all the time. It seems like the only thing that ever unites this country is a war.
Yeah, well, yeah. Back to tribalism, man. You cannot get any more tribal than getting in a war with another tribe. The only using that mentality, which I agree with you 100%. The only thing that's going to make us united as a planet is we're getting invaded by another planet.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that we're going to see each other as human if we have aliens that are going to come here and attack us. And then we don't have time to say, well, you're white or you're black or you're Chinese, because we're all going to be in the same boat, in the same planet.
A comet or a asteroid coming towards the planet.
Right. Something that threatens us as a whole planet. Now, they're trying to do that with climate change, but that's not as clear cut.
Yeah, we talked about this before. When we were on the ships, there were 90 different countries, people from 90 different countries working on that ship in close quarters every day. And we all got along.
I know.
Because we had to. We literally were in the same boat.
But not only that, part of the point. Not only that, but you start seeing people not as nationality, you start seeing people as people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Again, it's the tribal thing. When you can break down the tribal, mentality, you start seeing people for what they are. And on this ship is a perfect example. Joe from Nicaragua and Bill from South Africa are working together. Now, it's not Nicaragua and South Africa anymore. It's Bill and Joe working together. The fact that one is from Nicaragua and the other one is from South Africa becomes inconsequential.
Yeah, but with me, they didn't understand my custom of putting a girl in the closet.
Yeah, they looked at all the countries in the world, and they couldn't find that as being part of any tradition.
My religion. Why are you treading on me? This is my religion, man.
No tradition for anything like that.
So what's going on with the ships, man?
Well, I think they're taking turns into putting out bad news, because no, really, seriously, the first one was Carnival, when they said that they were going to stop operation till this time, and the other cruise lines were going to start earlier, and then they followed Carnival. Then the next one was Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean came out postponing their thing, and the other ones were still lagging, and then they all follow. Now, today or yesterday, Princess came out saying that they're not going to start their cruise until December 15. So I think
how does a company like that survive?
Well, they're selling ships. They're selling the company. Carnival sold 15% of the company to a Saudi Arabian prince. They're selling 4 ships. So that's what they're doing. Plus they got assistance from the government. They have the bailout loan that they got from the government. So they're trying to accumulate cash to keep the company going. And they're running on bare bones. I mean, Carnival, the offices are shut off. You can't even call anybody. Yeah. Everybody's gone. They furlough half the company, and half the company they fire.
Josh Wakeman is running the entire company from his house.
Yeah, I bet he is.
He's running everything. Every phone call goes to Josh.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what's going to happen is that they're all going to, I think they had thrown their hands up in the air and said, instead of starting in October when the CDC said that we can start, we're just going to write off 2020 and start brand new in 2021. And I think that's what they're shooting for. I think there's not going to be any cruising before next year.
And what do you think is going to happen with the unemployment?
Well, the unemployment runs out at the end of the month. Now they're trying to find out some kind of equitable way of distributing money, but not discouraging people from not getting a job. There are people that are getting more money not working, and this is no bullshit. My daughter is one of them. Okay, it's in my family. I have it in my family. My daughter is making more money now than she was when she was not working. Okay, that's not right. She have no incentive to ever go back to work. You know, I have a friend whose sister is in the same situation. So what they're thinking of doing is probably give less money for people so there will be more incentive because you'll be able to make more money working than not working. But I don't know, man. I listen. There are people that can get jobs if they wanted to, but people like us, entertainers, we're totally screwed. We're going to be the last people to go back to work because, by definition, an entertainer needs a crowd to entertain, and the last thing they're going to allow is crowds. You know. So I mean, even if we go back to work, comedy clubs are running at 50% capacity. How much money could they be making? You know, how much money are they going to offer us when we work? You know,
and the problem is, I mean, I do other things. I do counseling, so I have other sources of income. But the problem that I think about is, okay, so, but if everyone loses their job, they lose their insurance. They don't have money to spend. So you know, like it's going to be bad, bro.
well, I know, but it's certain. I mean, when we start opening it up, not all industries are going to be as, you know, hit as hard as us live entertainers. We have the worst because we need a crowd. There's other people, other jobs that you don't have to be. I mean, you'll be around people, but you can maybe, you know, distance yourself or wear a mask or protect yourself and still do your job. Us, forget it. Live entertainment, forget it. I mean, if you don't have a crowd, you don't have a show. So,
Yeah, there are probably there are probably young ladies right now telling their fathers that they're considering being phone sex operators, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Who knew that they had the answer?
Can they hire your mother? Can they hire your mother too?
Phone sex operator. Excellent idea, dear. Get right to it. Here, I'll buy you a phone.
No, but I mean, it's gonna, for us entertainers, it's gonna be very bad, man, because we're not gonna be around until this thing is not gonna be over until we get a vaccine. Because I think that this is a type of virus that's very contagious, and we're gonna close, then open up, then the virus is gonna go up again. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? So we can't continue this yo-yo thing of opening and closing because it will destroy our economy completely.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to start going back to work and taking precautions, you know, social distancing, wearing the mask, and I'm talking about people regular jobs, and people work in a factory or work in an office, but people like you and I, you know, nothing's gonna happen for us till 2021.
Did we ever figure out where the hell this thing came from for real?
Yeah, China.
What was going
Well,
on?
there's two train of thought here. One is that it really actually happened organically by some bat that got infected and infected some other people, and then people started spreading it. The other, thinking is that they were doing experiment with this virus at the Wuhan laboratories, and somehow the virus got out and spread it all over the place. Some people are cynical that think that China did it on purpose. They just unleashed this virus on the world. You know, I mean, now we're talking about James Bond type setting. You know,
They were working on a virus. What were they doing?
they were working on the coronavirus in the Wuhan
For what?
laboratory.
To figure out a vaccine for it, or
Yeah, a vaccine, or some people think that they were trying to maybe, weaponize it. You know, we don't know, man. Those countries like China and Russia, they're so close. You know, you don't know what the hell's going on there. You know, I mean, they're so, and I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't want to think that they did it on purpose, but at the same time, who knows? Who knows what their motives are? But one thing for sure, when they were telling everybody that they could not fly from Wuhan to any other place in China, they were letting every plane come out of Wuhan to all over the world. So
Yeah.
if they didn't do it on purpose, they took advantage of the accident.
Yeah.
Because they closed the country down. You could not fly from Wuhan anywhere in China. But anywhere in the world, you can go from Wuhan anywhere in the world. That sounds a little fishy. I mean, if you think it's bad enough to close down your entire country, then it's bad enough to close down the entire world, you know? You shouldn't have sent those people out, to Italy. And what happened is that, for example, in Italy, and I know this for a fact, a lot of countries want to continue to do merchandising with the name stamp on it, like made in Italy or made in France. So at least I know for a fact in Italy, they were bringing in workers from China to work real cheap and still be able to put down made in Italy. But they were being manufactured by Chinese workers in Italy.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of Chinese people. That's why it hit the northern part. Where people, why the northern part? That's because that's where the factories are. That's the industrial part of Italy, Milan, places like that.
So how have you been keeping busy, not working? I mean, what have you been doing?
I'm doing crazy, man. I mean, for the first 2 months, all I did was work on trying to get the unemployment. It was like it was my job. It was my job. It was 8 hours a day trying to get through the computer or the phone. I mean, it became a job. And because I'm pretty persistent, I was getting a lot of answers. So a lot of people started calling me. I became like ground central, for information. Everybody started calling me. Hey, how about this? Hey, how about that? So I was pretty busy for the first 6 weeks.
People started calling you.
Yeah, they did. I swear people started calling me because I started posting answers on Facebook, and they calling me to double check and find out. And and then what happened? We got a nucleus of 3 or 4 comics that started. Whoever found out one information, pass it on to the other one. So we started a little network. But the last 6 weeks have been horrible, man. I'm sick and tired. What am I going to do? Watch TV all day?
I have a confession to make. I actually have a friend at the office.
What office?
The unemployment office.
Oh, yeah?
That's why you would hear laughter in the background. Hey, it's that guy, Al Romero again. Come here, listen to this. What is your name, sir? Hey, what do you do? I'm a comedian. How long have you been trying to?
I'm a comedian, goddammit. I'm an essential part of humanity. I bring joy and laughter.
Don't you feel weird when people ask you what you do and you're like, I'm a comedian? Like, really?
First of all, first time you say it, people think you're pulling their leg.
Yeah.
And people like me, I mean, I have a serious demeanor about it. Nobody thinks I'm a comedian, And if you talk to me, I'm not one of those guys that never get off the stage,
Yeah.
I don't have the need to make people laugh all the time. I have to have serious conversations too. So if you meet me in a social environment, you will never in a million years think that I'm a comedian. I mean, I have people argue with me, say, come on, you're pulling my leg. They don't want to believe me.
Yeah, they always say, I tell them I'm a comedian, or my dad, when we go to restaurants, when they come to town, we're at the table, and he likes to talk to the waitress, and he'll say, this is my son, Michael. He's a comedian. I'm like, oh, Dad. And then the waitress, to be polite, really acts interested.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people will say, tell me a joke. And then I'll be like, I'm on break, Yeah. What do you do? I'm a waitress. We'll go get my food.
Exactly. Yeah, I hate that. Well, I stopped using elevators on the cruise ships because I was trapped. They find out you're the comedian, then they get this close to your face. Your back is to the back of the elevator, and the guy is this close to your face, telling you the most, racist or ridiculous or completely over the top jokes. And then you go, yeah, hey, you can put that in your act. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna open with that.
How long you been doing? How long you been doing stand up now, Al?
I started. Well, my official is June of 1980, but I really started doing comedy on April of 1979. But June is when I moved to LA and I have done my TV show and I got managers and agent. It's when I felt like I was a professional comedian because I quit my job. So now I have nothing. This is what I do. I don't have any other form of income. I don't have any other life. And that started on June of 1980 when I moved to LA. But I started out in 79 doing stand-up, yeah. Yeah, I've been doing it for 40 years, man. How long have you been doing it?
About 25.
Okay. Well, at some point, it doesn't make a difference. 40, 25 it's about the same, I take 5 years to find out if you're funny or not. And it takes 10 years to put a good act together. And then after that, it depends on how hard you want to work or how much natural talent you have.
Yeah. Did you ever want to be famous?
I wanted to be an actor, man. That was my thing, I mean, yeah, famous, yeah, because, in our business, how successful you are is totally intertwined with being famous. You know what I'm saying? So famous is something that is almost a requirement in order to be successful in this business. I mean, you can be successful as a CEO and nobody know who you are, but in show business, if you want to be successful, you have to be famous. Because if people know who you are, they don't come see you. They don't go see your movies. They don't go see your TV show. They don't come see you to live entertainment. So, but you have no choice but to be famous. But that wasn't my motivation. I just wanted to act. I just grew up watching sitcoms, man, and that was my dream, to have my own sitcom. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. You still enjoy it?
It's performing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I'm on stage, I do. But anything besides being on stage, I'm sick of it. The traveling, the talking to people, the getting the bookings, I mean, the bullshit that goes along, there's politics in every business, and ours seems to be even worse because it's so subjective. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in every business, 2 and 2 is 4. And you can, if you do this, this, and this is the result you get. In our business, you can do everything that you think is right, and one person thinks you're brilliant, the other one thinks you're a complete total idiot.
Yeah.
So it's totally subjective. So our business is very hard to quantify or qualify.
Yeah. I did a show up in for Larry Silver up at this restaurant in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, I've done it many times.
Yeah. Well, no, this is a different place.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, it's similar, very similar. And it was really good. There was one point where I got a little bit off track and I got ahead of myself, but I had a whole chunk of jokes that go together. I'm trying to figure out how do I get back to that. And then I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter, man. Just do that and then just do that. Like, it didn't have to flow perfectly every time, like I started panicking. You ever get that panicky feeling where you think you blank out?
Oh, God. How about when you blank on stage and you don't know the next word coming out of your mouth?
Yes.
I mean, that's really panicking. But, hey, thank God. And you have the ability to. I can talk to the audience.
Right.
So whenever I blank, I go, so where are you from? And then I'll do 10 minutes on the guy until my comedy kicks back in, and then I go right back to my act. But, oh, yeah, man. If you're not able to talk to the audience and you blank, you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah. So you've been talking to Randy Singer a lot, huh?
I had the pleasure of being invited to Randy Singer's house.
You went?
Yes.
Wow.
We got together. I sat at his patio, and we talked shit about you the whole entire time. It was wonderful. It was a great time to be had. No, he lives in a very nice place. He lives in a 3-story townhouse.
Did you bring a can of tuna?
Damn it, I forgot. Jesus Christ. Oh, Mike, come on. Damn it. I forgot all
I
about it.
know. I was supposed to remind you. I apologize.
Yeah, but I'm going to get together with him again because he has this kayak, the inflatable one that he's been trying to use. And I said, no, when you use it, I have to drive up there and film you. I want to film you doing your kayak thing.
Are you going to
I'll
get in
probably
the
be
kayak with him?
No. You know, I used to do kayak when I was a kid because my uncle was very big into it. So he used to take me kayaking with him all the time in Cuba.
Yeah, you were supposed to tell me because I was going to sit outside in the car with the can of tuna and say, ask him if I can come in.
I don't think he will have a problem with you coming in.
I know he wouldn't.
No.
He just likes talking shit.
No, he says that he separates being sociable with being a businessman. So he can have a relationship with you socially and don't have one with you business-wise.
Yeah, but I don't want a social relationship with him.
Come on.
I just want a business one. I just want to do shows.
Yeah, well, that one you fucked it up. That one.
I just want to do shows at chicken wing places as close to the Boca Black Box as possible.
Yeah, well, you did a good job with that.
That's what I do. I'm going to open a comedy club right next there called the Chicken Wing Place.
No, Randy's Chicken Wing.
You know, in all fairness, when I first got off the ships, I didn't know where to work. I didn't know anybody, bro. I hadn't done
I know.
Comedy Zone. I don't think I ever did a Bonkers. I maybe emceed at a Bonkers. I never did comedy clubs. I featured at Laugh-In a couple times. But I called Randy, and he gave me some work. He was the guy. He actually gave me work in the beginning when I got off the ships. Because when I got off the ships, I didn't know anybody. And he's so honest, too. I like because I would call him up. I say, yeah, I'm thinking about doing a one-man show about my life. Michael, who's going to come to that?
But let me tell you, he's right
about Mike Panzeca. No, he's right.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like Randy, because I like people that there's no bullshit and tell you exactly to your face. I'd rather you tell me something that I don't like to my face than tell me something that I like when you really don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I like to know where I stand. And with him, you know where you stand. There's not too much bullshit with him.
This might be a little too personal. Just let me know. But obviously you're quarantining, so to speak, with your wife. You guys are spending a lot more time together than normal, yeah?
Well, no, she went back to work though.
Oh, okay.
But we did for 3 months. For 3 months, we were like 24/7 together. You know.
And how was that?
That went over well, really good. Let me show you how good it went. That 2 weeks into it, we started going to a marriage counselor, and we still are.
Well, good. It would drive. I think that might be partially why I moved. I was home so much. Before it didn't matter because I was just kind of going in and out of there, and I had a room at my friend's condo. It was great. But I was just like, I have to. There's nothing against him. He's fine. I have to get.
You have to have your own space.
Yeah, man. I have to have my own space. Like right now, I'm not worried about talking too loud or, like anything. It's just it's good. It's great.
Right. You don't have to worry about what the limitations are because you might be bothering somebody else. There's no limitations. It's whatever you want to do in your house.
And the worst is when you're in the kitchen at the same time trying to make something to eat.
I hate that. You know what I don't understand is these people that actually put an ad in Craigslist and have some complete stranger come live in their house to rent a bedroom. How the fuck you do that?
I don't know.
Who's crazy enough to do that? Bring a complete total stranger to live in your house.
It's the money.
Well, man, there's not enough money. I don't know. I think I'd rather, get a smaller place or do something, but I'm not bringing a stranger to my house.
My roommate, Jeff, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. But I mean, he knows a little bit about the people, but my other friend, Joey, has a house that's kind of like split in half by a kitchen, and he rents out a couple of rooms there. I can't.
Yeah, but does he have privacy? Does he have to share
Well,
his life with other people?
no, he doesn't.
Well, okay, well, that's different. That's he has a duplex. He built a duplex out of his house, basically.
yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I when I lived in Manhattan, we lived in a duplex. I mean, not in Manhattan, in Queens. You know, the lady lived downstairs, we lived upstairs. I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with people that I have no idea who they are living in my house. You know, I mean, I have to see them. They're going to their room that happens to be my house. They use the kitchen. You know, how do you bring a complete stranger to live with you like that?
Well, I'm trying to picture you in therapy a little bit because you know I'm a therapist, right? I'm trying to picture. I would love to have you as a client.
I already told the marriage counselor twice that he was full of shit. I did. And I also told him, I said, listen, let's get something straight here, okay? This is not science, okay? This is not science. This is more like art. You only as good as the trust that I want to put on you. And
That's
right
true.
now, I'm not having a lot of trust in you right now. I want to tell you right now, okay? I don't bullshit and tell people exactly to their face what I believe. And what you just said to me is full of shit.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to go there and kowtow to the
So
guy.
how did he respond to that?
He was like, at first, he was like taken aback. You know, my
Really?
wife now said, "Oh yeah, my wife's now attacking me. You telling the therapist that he's full of shit?" I go, "Yeah, that's exactly what I just said." You know, and I told him, I said, "Listen, I'm not. I didn't come here to bullshit you or bullshit her. I came here to try to see if we can get along better. There's nothing that's going to gain here by me sitting here and telling you that I'm agreeing with something that I think is completely wrong.
Yeah.
You might think I'm wrong. She might think I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. And you cannot argue with how I feel. It's like me.
I don't think marriage counseling works.
Well, we're giving it a try. But I said, you can't argue with people's feelings. It's like me arguing with you because you like chocolate. Right. And I'm sitting here and say, well, you should not like chocolate. What, you don't like chocolate? That's impossible. You should not like chocolate. It's the same thing you're telling me. I should not feel that way. Well, you should not feel that. What do you mean I should not feel that way? That's the way I feel. I didn't make an effort to feel that way. I just do.
Right. Did you ever watch Ozark?
Oh, God, all the time. I love that show.
Remember when they were seeing the counselor and they were bribing her behind the scenes?
Right. Both of them were doing it, yeah. So they can say whatever they wanted to say.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah.
I'm into Better Call Saul. I'm binge watching from the beginning. I finished that. And now I started watching Breaking Bad again. Oh my
yeah,
God.
That's such a great show, man. Well, Better Call Saul is starting to get to the point where it becomes Breaking Bad, and now they had a marathon with extra footage in it.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No.
Instead of being 60 minutes, now the shows are 71 minutes. So they have 10 minutes of additional footage.
Wow. It's such a good show.
Oh, it's excellent. The writing is excellent. The ideas are excellent. The actors are great.
Characters are great.
I know.
Every actor is so good.
I know. That girl, what's her name? The blonde?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I told you before. She can look very attractive on one scene and looks very mundane on another one,
Tom Agnew is a friend of mine. He actually knows Bob Odenkirk and he knows her somehow.
Oh, yeah?
He said she's a smoking hot woman, like very beautiful.
In real life. In real life, yeah. Well, I'm saying she can look very attractive in one scene, and the other one she looks very mundane.
She's a mystery. That look. She is a mystery. Like you can never tell how she's going to react.
No, what I want to find out every time I watch is when are they going to get rid of her? Because she doesn't exist in Breaking Bad. So something must have happened to her.
Well, I thought that last episode was when they were going to do it in the apartment. Remember when?
But then she asked him to get married.
Yes.
She went the other way. I felt exactly the same way. Oh, this is it. This one is going to break up. She's going to take off. And then she said, unless we get married. Holy fuck. That, threw a complete curveball.
He's amazing. I actually I relate to his character in a lot of ways because, you know, you have this skill, this talent, this intelligence, but you can't conform to the regular way of doing things, but you always find a way to survive. And like, I like when he was selling the cell phones to people.
Yeah, yeah. He started an empire.
You
Selling
remember
cell
the
phones.
scene when he got the job at the law firm and there was a switch on the wall and it said, "Do not turn on,"
Yes.
in the new office with that law firm, and he took the
Yeah.
tape off and he turned it on just to see what happened.
Yeah.
That was all
Yeah.
symbolism there. That switch does nothing. But
No.
he can't conform. He can't. He's
Well,
always going to be Slippin' Jimmy. He's always going to be that.
well, that's why you can relate to it, because that's exactly who you are. Yeah, I mean, you're the same way. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, I mean, there's not an authority figure that you don't want to go and tell them, you are an asshole.
I don't have trouble. I don't have trouble with authority figures
No, you have authoritarian authority figures.
unless no, if they're smart and they know what they're doing, I will follow them to the end of the earth. If they've demonstrated to me that they understand what they're doing and they know what they're doing, I will follow them to the end of the earth. But if they try to bullshit me or limit me in some way, like this whole concept of, in the beginning, I remember I had that thing with Uncle Funnies and Andrew Dorfman and Boca Nuts and Richie Connell. And one was, Andrew would say, I can't work for him if I work for this guy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't do that. I think that's ridiculous when people do that. I mean,
I know, but I think your situation is that you have a problem with authority figures that don't give you a rationale as to why they're doing something. They're doing it because they're enforcing their power on you without having any rationale as to why they're doing it.
Right.
Yeah. I have the same problem, but I have a different tactic. You like to confront them. I like to just, depending on the situation. I mean, I put my foot down. But if I think it's something silly and the guy's doing it for his ego, I just yes him to death and just go my merry way. I don't have time to get in a fight with this asshole.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about the situation that we talk about on the phone all the time with those shows I was doing in Boynton. You were in one of the shows.
Yeah, I know. He blackballed me.
No, he didn't. He invited you to his house.
I know, but that's what he was saying. He's a very complex person. He says that he can compartmentalize business and social. He blackballed me. I'm not allowed to headline his club for a year. I'm in purgatory.
Really? Still?
Yeah. In purgatory. I'm in purgatory. And I just laugh it off. I don't care. I've been doing this too long, man. If I was a guy starting, I'll probably get all worked up or get scared or what. I don't give a fuck, man. Fight. If that's what you want to do, let's fight with me.
Did you ever do Boca Nuts?
Yeah, I used to work there all the time. I used to work.
I love that.
I worked there. I worked there when it was the New York Comedy Club.
No, I mean before that though. I never worked there when it was that.
Boca Nuts.
Started traffic school behind my back.
Yeah.
So I refused to go there. But before that, Richie Connell, Boca Nuts.
Yeah,
Dude,
I worked there all the time.
Place. I loved it.
Yeah. Richie Connell was bought out by Al Martin.
Yes. And they called me to do the traffic school there. But I remember Richie, and that was just starting out. I lived down the street with Adam Seitz. I just broken up with a relationship. I went to New York for my big break, and it didn't work out. I came back. I lived down the street. I won a contest. Me and Brett Ernst and Christy Murphy. We won 14 comedians, and I'd only been doing it like 3 years to be house MCs. But I could go in there and I get my cappuccino, and AZ was the doorman, and I would watch comedy. I could come there anytime I wanted, and I would get guest spots, and Bob Levy was there, and those guys were so good to me, man. That was good times, man.
Yeah, but the owner, Richie, what was his name?
Richie Connell.
Yeah, he was a little eccentric, isn't it? Or different, or I remember
He was hard to read. We had
Yeah,
yeah.
and didn't he have something with his girlfriend or his wife that's why he had to sell the club because he got divorced or something like that?
They had a tumultuous relationship.
Yeah, but I think that he sold the club because because he didn't want her to have it, or I don't know. I'm not, but it was something to that effect. I know they got separated, divorced, right?
Yeah, and then he was actually working as a bartender.
Yeah, well, yeah, because she took him for all the money. Supposedly, according to him, she took him for all the money, and he was now working. He
Right.
went from being the owner to being the bartender. I remember that. Yeah,
He was
that was a
on.
good club. Yeah,
He was good to me. I liked that place. And the
yeah.
comic. Did you work the comic strip at Fort Lauderdale?
That's where I started.
That's where I started.
That was my home club. I mean, I'm still friends with the owner. I just was I was at his house just a couple of days ago, a couple of weekends ago. One of the owners, Joe Mullins, and his wife. Me and my wife are best friends with them. My
Right.
wife and his wife are great friends, and me and him are great friends.
Right. Did your
Yeah,
wife
that was
go
fun.
with you to Randy's?
No. My wife doesn't go to shows anymore. At the beginning,
That was
I had
funny
to
the
put
other
them
day
over.
when we were on the phone and you go, I'm having dinner. What do you go? This is what you said. What are you doing this weekend? And I go, oh, nothing. You go, because I'm having dinner. And I thought you were inviting me over for dinner. I'm free. He goes, well, people are yelling at me. Why? Because I'm coming to dinner? No. You were having dinner right then.
Like, they were calling me over to the table to come in to have dinner.
You should have brought me to Randy's with you, man.
We'll do it next time. We'll do it next time.
Just have me, I'll sit in the car.
No, you don't have to sit in the car. He'll be more than glad to get you in.
No, I'll sit in the car and just be like, Mike's outside. He doesn't know if he can come in or not. Could he sit in the front yard? Maybe could he? The front. He lives in Hollywood, right?
No, he lives in Boynton Beach. He moved
He
from
does?
Hollywood. Yeah, he lives north of Del Rey. Very nice place. Like I said, a 3-story townhouse near the water.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
Are they doing any shows there at Boca Black?
No.
Nothing.
No, and they're not getting any reservations either. People are not going out, man. I mean, a lot of these places are closed, but they don't have to. Instead, they don't have clientele to open with.
Well, the Miami Improv closed because Miami closed down again.
Right.
But the West Palm Beach Improv is still open. My classes are supposed to start August 4th. We had a good graduation show. And it was fine. We social distance, and I'm looking forward to that. I actually had a really good show. And it was fun watching my students go up there, and I really enjoy doing it. I've been doing that like about 5 years, and maybe more than 5. When the hard rock,
more than 5. I think you'll be doing more than 5.
everything flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. Especially when you get old. There's a mathematical reason for that. You know that, right?
What is it?
As to why time goes faster when you get older. There is an actual mathematical reason for that.
I believe it. What is it?
Okay, when you're 5 years old, 1 year of your life is 20% of your whole existence. When you're 50-year-old, 1 year is 1/50th of your whole existence. So you don't do it on a conscious level, but you automatically relate 1 year to how long you've been on Earth. So if you've been on Earth 5 years, 1 year is a monumental amount of time.
Right.
Because you're doing it, subconsciously, you're comparing it to how long you've been around. You've been around 50 years. A year is nothing.
Right. So like if you've been in prison a year, 30 days is nothing.
Exactly.
I could do that standing on my head.
Well, you heard people say that, right? I can do that standing on my head. What are you talking about? Been in the joint 40 times.
Do you know that if you're tired, a hill or a mountain literally looks larger to you?
Oh, I believe that your brain plays all kind of tricks like that on you. Definitely. I believe that. Yeah.
You know why?
Time is a perfect example. Look at a clock for 1 minute and see how long it takes forever. Right. Have you ever put something in the microwave for a minute and you're standing there waiting for it? It looks like it's going to take forever.
Right.
If you don't pay attention to a minute, it's like like a second. It's all relative. Time is very relative.
I used to experiment a lot with this because I walked a lot when I was a kid. I walked a lot of places and rode my bike a lot of far distances. And the same thing with the motorcycle. I've ridden 3,000 miles on it, but once on a trip. But if you look down and you count the blocks and you just stay focused on right now, before you know it, time flies by. But if you look up at where you're going, it seems like it's going to take forever.
Well, yeah, because look at a psychological thing. When you see those blocks coming by, it's an immediate thing that you have a relationship we're looking at. Right. If you're looking at the distance at the horizon, that mountain might take you an hour or more to get to it. So subconsciously, it looks like it takes forever.
And relating that to comedy, I'll tell you how that messed me up one time. I was doing a show where I had to do an hour for David Sandman at this condo in Boynton. And it was great people, Italian, retired people, food, great, fun people. I'm on the stage, and I look in the back, and there's a clock on the wall. I'm looking right at the clock, and I'm talking, and only 5 minutes has gone by. And I'm looking at that clock going, how the hell?
Am I going to do an hour?
How the hell am I going to be funny for all that time? But that's why you can't. I like having a clock that you look at every once in a while, like at 20 minutes, at 40. When you're at 45, you know you're fine. You know you're good. You know 45 is the sweet spot, bro.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like to look at a clock at all. I don't like it at all.
I
don't want to know. I don't want to know what time it is. I have more a body clock. I have an idea more or less.
How do you know when you're done?
Because I have a body clock. I know how long it's going to take for me to meet my act. When I lose track of time is when I start talking to the audience, because that is not the other ones. I've done it many, many times, so I kind of know an idea of at what time I am on joke A or joke B. But I'm more structural in my act than you are.
Yeah, but I also have some jokes that I actually look at my watch as part of the joke.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah. No.
Mailman, I go, I can't right now. The guy's coming over, but
yeah.
But the audience has a lot of effect. If the audience isn't laughing.
Oh no! Of course, it takes forever. I mean, you want to get out of there like
that takes out a lot of time. And the mistake, we've talked about this too. The mistake a lot of people make is they go faster because they're trying to chase that laugh.
Right. Exactly. And what you have to do is calm down and pull back.
Slow down. And when the audience is loud, you have to get quiet, not louder.
Yeah. You have to match your energy to the audience. If you're too low to the energy, that doesn't work. If you're too high to the energy, that doesn't work either. Unless you have a character type act, and then then they get into your character, and then you can set the speed of the audience. But
I was thinking we should do a podcast because we have
we have a lot of shit to talk about.
We have a lot of shit to talk about. So anyway, we're back. This is episode 9. This is our 9th one, right?
It is our 9th one. Yes, correct.
So we've done 9. And even today, I have to say, I was into it. And then I was kind of like, I'm not into it, but I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we're back. We got to find out how George is doing and get George back. Let me call him.
Yeah, I'll let you call him this time. I talked to him about other things besides that.
You talk to all these people who are pissed off at me. Every day I get a text from Al Romero. Oh, you won't believe what they said about you now. I'm like, what the fuck? What is he doing?
No, but I'm good friend with I'm a good friend with his wife too, Angie. And Angie's doing very bad. She's very bad. Yeah, she have to have a liver and a kidney transplant. So I mean, he's not in the greatest of moods,
I know, and that's why I respect that. I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. I told him that. I said, listen, we didn't think you'll be in the mood to do the podcast.
And Tom Magna is in Thailand. He's going to come on, and then I want to have, I have Ethel. My sister does this character.
Oh, great!
And she talks about our show on her page all the time. She's very funny. She's very funny, my sister.
Terrific. Well, you have her. And like I said, we don't have to have somebody for a whole hour. We can bring it for 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. You know, I also want to have Jeff Shaw because he used to run the comedy thing at a carnival. So he can give us a perspective from being a comedy club manager, you know, when we were working there. Because that, you know, that's to this point, to this day, it's a point of contention with comedians having to be evaluated, you know?
Yeah.
Like every time you go on stage, you have somebody, and you know, you might have somebody that's knowledgeable in comedy, like Jeff is, or you might have a guy that, you know, was living in Serbia last week and have no clue about American humor, you know?
I'm going to try to go home at the end of August for Labor Day. My dad's birthday is the 31st. My brother's is the 1st. It's usually a Panzeca reunion, but I don't think we're going to have a pandemic Panzeca reunion. But I'm still going to go up. But I'll try to, if Greg Hudson's in town, maybe we'll do the show from his apartment.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, I would love to do that. Yes.
Greg.
That would be great.
And we're definitely got to hang out. And we got to get some other people to have some other people on. But, yeah, we got some stuff going on. I just want to get these classes going. I want to get back on stage. I can't wait for us to do some shows together again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, too. I'm still scared about my act, though. I don't know how much I'm going to remember.
You do fine with that.
I'm really concerned about it. But I'm going to.
But you already did it, and you were fine.
Yeah, I know. But I'm going to be gone for almost 2 months before I do it again, and I only did it twice. So, but I have it on DVD. I watch myself. I hate to watch myself, but I'll have to do it. I have no choice.
You know, maybe we should try to do some stuff online. I do get requests every once in a while.
I don't want to do comedy.
No?
No.
I'll tell you, I did it. I was scared, but I did it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but you didn't do comedy online. You didn't come with almost an audience because you have so many people watching you on Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm talking about doing it, you know, like here and nobody's around, you know, that's different. I mean, you had like 10, 15 people watching you and laughing. So you have like an interaction there.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about doing, you and me.
I know, but where are we going to get the 15 people to watch us?
No, I have virtual Panzeca. I get requests on Zoom. I get requests on Gigmaster for shows.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, maybe we can get an audience
together. Maybe it would be because you know, maybe we do it together, play off each other,
right,
back and forth. This is the thing of the future, man. Obviously, this is what.
Oh, no question about it. Yeah, yeah. Listen, we were going to get to this stage anyway, but now the pandemic have accelerated it because now we have no choice but to do it this way. And now we're finding out, hey, listen, some of these things actually work better doing it this way. So, yeah, we're going to change very drastically.
We've gone to two extremes. We have the people who are staying home and not seeing anyone, and then you have the large groups that are meeting in other people's cities and hanging out who should stay home.
I know.
So,
they're having COVID parties where you go to try to get it. Can you imagine that? I'm going to go to a party so I can get a virus.
I don't understand.
No, I don't understand.
People are crazy. But anyway, listen, so let's wrap this up.
Yes. We've been at it for almost an hour and 15 minutes.
No, you always say that.
Yes, we are. It's 8:03 when we started.
Okay. So I'll figure out which parts of you to cut out.
Okay. All the funny parts.
I want you guys to share this. Please share.
Yeah, that's it. Share.
Like, share. And I'll send you a T-shirt, coffee cups, whatever. I got a pillow here somewhere. And thank you for listening. And we'll talk to you. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Al, you got anything to say?
No, just stay calm out there. Don't riot anything, you know?
All right.
Okay, bud. Till next week.
Till next week.
If we're still alive.